security and defense is probably the area in which the European Union integration has the biggest gap between expectations, at least expectation of the citizens, and results. Gap between what we could be, what the citizens demand, and what we have achieved. Europe is in danger. And I wish it were different, but the last 2 years have seen a serious worsening of our strategic environment, to the extent that I am convinced that today we are living through the most dangerous moment of the post-Cold War period. We have the coming together of the problems of the 19th century. Remember, 19th century was the clash of empires. The 20th century, it was the age of power politics. And the 21st century is the weaponization of interdependency. More problems, more serious, more interrelated, and less capacity to cope with them. This is why I say Europe and its security are in danger. We have a choice to make. Either we seriously invest in our collective capacity to act, or we accept being an object and not a subject in foreign policy, and then scale back the rhetoric of being a geopolitical actor. Russia has been undermining the European security order for years. Its military build-up comes after previous uses of force against Ukraine, in Crimea, in Donbass and Georgia. It's taking place against the backdrop of Russia's aggressive use of disinformation on cyber attacks in our neighborhood and inside the European Union itself. But the crisis is not just about Ukraine, it's about European security order, because Russia is trying to turn back the page of the history, to turn back the clock, and go back to the spheres of influence that belong to the past, to the Yalta time. The European Union has two priorities: diplomacy and deterrence. Both. We need both, and each depends on the other for success. We are preparing a set of strong sanctions in case Russia decides to take further military action against Ukraine. And we must be ready for all scenarios, and the nature of our response must match the nature of Russian choices. At the same time, we are expanding our support to Ukraine in order to make Ukraine better able to resist Russian pressure. And you know, since 2014, since Crimea times, we have supported Ukraine with 17 billion euros. And now we are increasing our financial support, both from the Commission side and from the European Peace Facility. The strategic compass is for me a way of trying to make the Europeans to face our strategic responsibilities. These days, threats are coming from everywhere and manifest themselves in all strategic domains. So we need to see the whole board and adopt a truly comprehensive approach to security. The strategic compass is a package for the action, not just analysis, but a recipe for action. The European Union should be able to rescue citizens, for example, in a situation like we saw in Afghanistan last summer, or intervene quickly in a crisis where violence is threatening the lives of civilians, not just training the armies of the others, but to put boots on the ground. And the US wants a stronger and more capable European defense to contribute to the global and transatlantic security. What the Americans tell us is, yes, okay, don't talk, act. Don't talk, act. Please, get on with it and help us to share the security, to burden the security burden. The speed at which the geopolitical context is changing, because this speed is so big that makes the case for action much more urgent and compelling. All the threats that we are facing are intensifying, and the capacity of individual member states to cope is insufficient and worst, is declining. Will this strategic compass be yet another plan, or it's truly a new beginning? Well, politically, the choice is similar to when we launched the euro, or when we launched the recovery plan, when the cost of non-Europe, or the cost of not acting, became so high that people are ready to rethink their red lines and invest in a truly European solutions. We decided to jump together, and in both cases, the result has been good. Let's make the same thing now, to jump toward an European security and defense